Pisces, this is your December 2025 soul story. If you have a sun rising or your moon is in the sign, this is your reading. It's Romy here. Thank you so much for joining me and for all your support over the past 12 months. We're going to open up with the energy of the Six of Swords. It's the rite of passage. And maybe it didn't have to be the happy ever after. Maybe it got to be one of the greatest teaching moments of your life. So I think that there's an acceptance and a coming to terms and a willingness to move on from something that has perhaps been one of the headlines of the past year. And yet I see you in a really good space with it. You know, I think that there's an honesty to December, a willingness to reprioritize, reorganize, also to really trust in not only your lived experience through this past year, but also the signs that are showing up with more and more frequency at the moment as to the direction, the next steps, the choices that you're meant to take. And there's a sure-footedness, I think, that comes in a welcome capacity in December. Now, on the 4th of the month, we're going to see our full moon in the sign of Gemini, and likely to bring to light news, information, important conversations that, again, perhaps just signal it's time. That's kind of where I see you, you know, recognizing that it's time to change, time to transform, time to end, time to let go. And I think, you know, the final few weeks of some of the outer planets having shifted back into Pisces is affording you the chance to really think about, you know, what is coming with me and what no longer has a place here. And everything about the way in which you respond to things in December will be the litmus test for you, right? You know, is it enabling you to maintain a sense of centeredness, of peace, of balance? Or is it coming in a way that disrupts you, in a way that you are no longer willing or frankly able to tolerate or accept? So I think, you know, there's, as every month has done this year, some pretty powerful realizations to sit with. And that information around the full moon in Gemini, it's not just what it is, it's then what we do with it. Now, on the 6th, we have a really positive conversation astrologically as Mercury trines with Jupiter, so the messenger planet, you know, obviously taking the message of that full moon is then being amplified by Jupiter. So you have a pathway laced with luck. So make the most of it, take advantage of it, because you can find that there's progress, an upside, a positive outcome. And, you know, you're definitely turning your back on something here, right? Or maybe let's rephrase that, Pisces. It's not even necessarily that you're turning your back on something. It's that you are turning towards something. Okay? You're not running away from something, you're running towards something. Let's clarify that. Because that light is bright and it's calling you to something. It's making a statement. And I feel like you want to do things differently. You're going to be re-inspired in quite a powerful way at some point this month. Now, we know it's a difficult month, right? There's all sorts of emotional energy. There's that spinning out, the frenzy of the season, the obligations, the nostalgia, the contemplation of the year that's just passed. And as Mars squares with Saturn on the 8th, it can feel like a bit of a rub. You've got your Queen of Earth here, and sometimes it can feel a bit dry, like a situation can feel a bit dry, like maybe, you know, you're reflecting on something and maybe there was an expectation of more growth, more warmth, more energy, more flow. And yet, you know, we still look to see that she's focused toward where the light is coming in. So regardless of the what is, of where you find yourself, there's something really powerful about this month that's saying, it's all right, Pisces, we've got you, this is the direction, and all you need to focus on is the next step, right? You don't have to set the world on fire. This is not about having everything sorted and tied up and done in a way that, you know, you think honors the year, because it's messy in December. So we just let it be messy. So don't let that frustration or that tension do anything other than just remind you of what you've already been through, what you've already navigated, and how strong and resilient you are. Neptune's going to go direct in your sign on the 10th, and that brings something important. There's a gift, there's an insight, there's a download, there's a remembrance, there's an aha moment. Pay attention to it. Maybe it's subtle, maybe it really smacks you between the eyes, but regardless, it speaks to your soul. And I think, again, it's this sort of acceptance that whatever has been underway, you know, doesn't have to be the happy ending, that there's so much more to come. So the teaching moment was needed to help you reshape what your heart's desires really are now. You're really reviewing what you really want. You've got another queen coming through here. And, you know, this sort of feminine fire that shows up is ready to inspire you. It feels like there's oh, you're so capable this month. Like, however you feel about yourself, like, that's the truth of it. You're just so incredibly capable. And when you need to, you'll get done what you need to. And when you can't, then you'll be wherever you are and you'll meet yourself there. Now, when Mars squares Neptune, it can be a bit uncomfortable, because it's like we've just got the energy and then it all sort of dissolves and we feel like we don't. But notably, on the same day, Mars shifts into Capricorn, and there's definitely some focus and some stamina that comes through. I mean, you're working in 10th and 11th house, so there's some big kind of career and work things stirring beneath the surface of a month that, of course, distracts us in all of the ways that it does with the holiday season, but, you know, something deeper for you. And as you come into that new moon Sagittarius energy on the 19th, I like the vibe that you're in. You know, and regardless of what is going on around you, I think you're giving yourself permission to have some fun, actually, to let in some enjoyment around that time. But there's also like a pairing, you know, King and Queen of Wands. It's like, oh, that togetherness, that balance of masculine and feminine fire, you know, can really sort of move mountains. There's something about that new moon. Maybe it's in the networking capacity, right? Maybe it's in having a conversation with somebody that's so like-minded. They feel like you know, it feels like your twin. It feels like, you know, this is the, or the male version of me or the female version of me. Like, this is just a real kind of almost like deja vu, almost like otherworldly experience, but the conversation and the translation of what that means has really far-reaching and positive implications for you. But you got to grab it, right? You got to say, you know, wherever I am, like, is fine, and, you know, this is showing up and this is what I'm being directed to. So even if it's not what I thought or what I expected, there's something in this that I need to explore. Now, the solstice comes on the 21st as we shift into Capricorn energy, 11th house for you, and a beautiful solstice energy, and one that, you know, even if you don't regularly find yourself celebrating or honouring this powerful, beautiful time of the year and the realignment that it brings energetically, you'll want to this year. Something will feel sort of really symbolic for you. And the ritual that you'll want to do, however simple, to respect that makes a difference. Now, your King of Swords here is also negotiating. So there's negotiation going on around that date. Don't be walked over, you know, hold your boundaries, know and remember the things that you've learned this year about yourself, about relationships, about, you know, whatever it is that's the theme coming through at that time. And is it a bit of a test? Yeah, maybe, but it's not anywhere near as sort of dramatic or difficult as what you might have expected. It just sort of requires you to get over that initial experience of feeling confronted in some way, shape, or form. And once that passes, then you're engaging and you're positioning yourself, or you're saying what you want to, and it's heartfelt, it's meaningful, it's reflective of who you are and where you've got. And the outcome feels like much more positive than what you would have thought. Okay, so don't be in any anxiety about it when something comes up around that time. It's just going to really kind of validate and further clarify something. And as I said, December is a honest month, so you'll maybe hear some things or say some things that, you know, you're finally ready to get off your chest a little bit. But it also means that it just enables you to free yourself up from what is so unimportant, and really focus to reprioritize the things that do matter and that do hold meaning to you. Yeah, that are really close to home. And sometimes we need to make our world really small to remind ourselves of what those things are. So if you need to do that, if you go through the emotional energy of this month and it's tough, then that's exactly what you do. Now, if you're new to the channel, the last 3 cards we look at in my extended reading, we talk for another 25-30 minutes or so. We look at a personal and a relationship card for you. I'm going to go ahead and clarify the cards. We'll see the direction that we're going to take this reading for you. And hopefully if it's resonating and you'd like to support the channel, you can find that link below. Okay, energy of death coming through. We've got Queen of Air and the Sun. All the queens for you this month. You gotta wear that crown, Pisces. 6 of Earth, 4 of Earth, 3 of Swords, 5 of Swords. I think there's so much around December in terms of the, you know, we look back and it's a whole mix, isn't it? But there will be things that you will feel still bitterly disappointed about, or struggling to resolve, or still having that kind of charge, that conflict within you. It's natural, right? It's okay. Will it be sorted this month? Will you figure it all out in December? Probably not, but that's okay too. Through the passage of time and the way in which you're changing, it's going to get to where it needs to be from an energetic perspective. So we're just going to look at some oracles to add to this conversation. This is my deck, Life Soul Vision. You'll find this over on my website, romywiser.com. We have the Queen of Earth and Nature's Blessing, all the queens. And really nice balance elementally with them all coming through as well for you. You'll be a real chameleon this month, I think, Pisces, you know, in terms of the people you engage with, the situations you find yourself in. But you'll bring it, whatever it is that you need to. The Volcano, relationships expressed, don't stagnate. Okay, there we go. That's in step with what we talked about as that King of Swords arrives. Thank you for being here, for all your support of my work. I really hope you'll join me on the extended. My work is evolving. Please keep tuned in to my social media, my newsletter, my channel, to see the new directions and how you can continue to follow me on the journey. I appreciate you so much. Take good care and have a beautiful, peaceful holiday season.